What if I told you McLaren may have just pulled off the most brilliant trick in Formula One? Not with horsepower, not with aerodynamics, but with tires? After a secret investigation by the FIA, the truth is finally out, and it's causing chaos across the paddock. This isn't just another F1 update. This is a game changer. In the high-stakes world of Formula One, where every millisecond counts, even the smallest advantage can turn a midfield car into a podium contender. In the 2024 season and the early races of 2025, McLaren shocked the racing world with a dramatic performance surge. While the public eye focused on engine upgrades and aero tweaks, it turns out the real secret weapon was far sneakier: tire preparation. An FIA investigation recently exposed McLaren's ingenious tire trick, which many are calling illegal genius, while others are calling foul play. So what exactly did McLaren do, and how did they get away with it? Let's break it all down point by point. Tire management is everything in modern Formula One. In today's Formula One, tire performance can make or break a race. The Pirelli tires used in the sport are susceptible to temperature and pressure. Teams that can keep their tires in the optimal operating window gain extra grip, less degradation, and more race pace. Conversely, getting it wrong means sliding around the track, overheating tires, and losing valuable time. With 2025's increasingly strict rules around tire blankets and tire prep, teams are desperate to find new ways to manage tire temperatures without breaking the rules. McLaren saw this as an opportunity, and they seized it. McLaren's secret tire trick: thermal cycling. According to FIA findings and sources in the paddock, McLaren developed a subtle yet powerful method of tire preparation known as thermal cycling. This technique involves heating the tires to specific temperatures and then letting them cool in a controlled manner. By doing this during practice sessions, especially FP1 and FP2, McLaren was able to condition the tires so they responded better during qualifying and races. These tires would heat up quicker on outlaps and last longer during stints. This technique was not technically against the rules, but it exploited a gray area that the FIA had never clarified. Until now, the FIA begins its investigation. McLaren's sudden jump in performance didn't go unnoticed. After their strong showings in late 2024 and early 2025, particularly in high-degradation circuits like Singapore, Suzuka, and Mexico, rival teams grew suspicious. Reports suggest that both Mercedes and Aston Martin quietly raised concerns with the FIA. The governing body then launched a discreet investigation into McLaren's garage operations. They started monitoring tire temperatures, pressures, and the procedures used to manage them between sessions. It didn't take long for the FIA to discover that something unusual was going on in McLaren's setup. The FIA releases Technical Directive TD45/25. Once the FIA confirmed that McLaren was using a non-traditional method of tire heat cycling, they issued Technical Directive TD45/25. This new directive clarified that teams are no longer allowed to use any technique that cycles tires through extreme temperatures for performance benefits. It stated that all tire heating and cooling must be done within controlled and approved ranges, and that procedural manipulations, like repeated high-temp runs followed by passive cooling, would now be considered illegal. This directive didn't penalize McLaren retroactively, but it shut down their strategy moving forward. McLaren's reaction to the FIA's decision. McLaren responded calmly and professionally. Team principal Andrea Stella gave a measured statement during the Austrian GP weekend, saying, "We've always operated within the framework provided by the FIA. As the sport evolves, so do interpretations. We respect the new directive and will adapt accordingly." This confirmed two things. McLaren had, in fact, used the trick, and they were prepared to stop now that it had been outlawed. However, Stella also reminded the media that McLaren's performance gains came from various areas, not just tire tricks, suggesting they still had plenty left in the tank. The paddock reacts. Praise and frustration. Other teams were less reserved in their reactions. Mercedes reportedly requested that the FIA audit McLaren's procedures going back several races. Red Bull team principal Christian Horner sarcastically said, "It's clever, no doubt, but we'd all need to play by the same rules." Ferrari's Fred Vasseur used the moment to push for standardized tire prep methods across all teams, especially with tire blankets being phased out. While some praised McLaren's ingenuity, others accused them of abusing a loophole and questioned whether more aggressive regulations would now follow. The ethics of innovation in Formula One. This situation reignites a classic F1 debate. Is exploiting a gray area in the rules intelligent engineering, or is it unethical? Over the years, we've seen many teams blur the lines with innovations like the double diffuser, Braun GP, flexible wings, Red Bull, and DAS, Mercedes. These innovations forced the FIA to react, but the teams were not penalized. McLaren's tire strategy fits this same mold. They found a way to extract performance legally until the rules changed. Whether that's brilliance or bad sportsmanship depends on who you ask. The impact on McLaren's future performance. Now that TD45/25 is in place, the F1 world will be watching McLaren very closely. Will their pace remain consistent without their tire trick? If they fall back in the next few races, it could confirm that their advantage was heavily tied to tire prep. However, if they stay competitive, it means their overall package, car balance, aero, and driver performance, is strong regardless. Upcoming races, like the Hungarian Grand Prix and Spa-Francorchamps, will be key indicators. For now, McLaren remains under the microscope. Other teams may try similar tricks. McLaren might have been first, but don't expect them to be the last. Formula One is a constant game of cat and mouse between teams and the FIA. Now that this loophole has been exposed, other teams will be searching for new, creative ways to gain tire-related advantages. Whether it's surface treatments, new garage technology, or clever deployment strategies, F1 engineers will never stop pushing the boundaries. McLaren just proved that even the tiniest details can deliver significant results. What this means for the 2025 championship battle. McLaren's rise, and this controversy add a new layer of intrigue to the 2025 season. With Red Bull, Ferrari, and Mercedes already battling at the front, McLaren's involvement makes the competition even more intense. This trick, even if temporary, may have helped them grab critical points that influence constructor standings. As F1 heads toward mid-season, every technical advantage, every podium, and every regulation change matter. McLaren's tire saga may be over, but its effects will be felt all season long. Outsmarting. Formula One is not just a sport, it's a chess match played at 300 kilometers per hour. The McLaren tire twist is a perfect example of how teams win not just with speed, but with strategy, intelligence, and bold thinking. Whether you see it as a trick or a masterstroke, one thing is clear: McLaren pushed the boundaries, and the sport will never be the same. What do you think? Was McLaren brilliant or just lucky to escape punishment? Comment below with your thoughts. Smash that like button if you enjoy behind-the-scenes F1 analysis. And subscribe for more deep-dive videos on Formula One's most incredible secrets and scandals. Until next time, stay sharp, stay fast, and keep racing.